Welcome to Optimal Timelines. My name is Sean, and this is going to be your June 2023 Tarotscope readings for your North Node by sign and house. Now, if you're new to the channel, the reason I use your North Node in readings as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that your North Node is like your North Star. It's your soul path. It's what you're here to learn and experience. And so you have much more in common with those that share your North Node by sign and house as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant sign. Now, you're going to want to watch two readings. You're going to want to watch one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house because they're both relevant. If you're unfamiliar with your North Node, there's going to be a link in the description box below so you could look up and find out some more information. So I am going to connect to the energies and then we can begin the reading. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Cancer or the fourth house. This is going to be your June 2023 Tarotscope reading. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and then this side represents the second half of the month from the 16th on. Now, the card that popped out for you, the theme card, overall theme, is the Five of Pentacles reversed. And as some of you know, if you watch this channel on a regular basis, when I see spreads or see individual cards, the tarot cards for me, I've been doing this for many years, and the cards have multi-layered meanings for me. They have general meanings, but when I see a card, sometimes I'll get like a quick flash of a movie or an image or something that will kind of give me a lot of information. That's what I got with this. And what I got with this is opening yourself to vulnerability so you're not forced to be in vulnerable situations. Opening up yourself to being vulnerable so you don't end up putting yourself in vulnerable situations, okay? Here's what I mean by that. First, disclosure, okay? North Node in Cancer is my North Node, okay? So, and I know several people that have this. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about with this. One of the things with North Node in Cancer is you've got your South Node in Capricorn, or you have your South Node in the 10th house if your North Node is in the 4th house. And this is called, the Cancer Capricorn axis is called the security axis. Okay, emotional security, financial security, being protected, it's everything to do with that, because Cancer rules the mother and Capricorn rules the father, okay? So it's the family, it's this whole structure, okay? One of the things with Cancer North Node is it's learning to allow yourself in life to become vulnerable. And it's very difficult for most people that have Cancer North Node or North Node in the 4th house to allow themselves to feel vulnerable. We don't like it. It's uncomfortable. We don't like to feel like We like to say, okay, like I've got a plan, I got all this, bum, 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 bum. I don't want to feel vulnerable. And what can happen is, remember that when you look at security, when you have no security or protection, you're completely 100% vulnerable. Okay, that's too much vulnerability. But when you have too much protection, that's a prison. Okay, and so what can end up happening is sometimes we can, with this North Node, we can be overly protective in our life, and and I see this play out. I've seen it play out in my life over the years, and in lots of people I know and have done readings for that have this. What ends up happening is, if a person has not allowed themselves to be vulnerable, it can block like love in their life. It can block like happiness, because you build a wall in a sense, and you're protected and you feel secure, but then you're overly secure, so you're not allowing love to come in, feelings to come in. Okay, so there has to be this balance between, yes, we need security and protection, but we also need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. But more importantly, what I see is the longer a person that has this North Node doesn't allow themselves to be vulnerable in an area, like not to feel deeply or to show emotions or whatever it is, whatever that vulnerability is, the universe keeps throwing more and more situations into that person's life that force them to be in more and more vulnerable situations. Okay. And so getting into the first, this is a big thing for this month. Okay. I know I've been feeling it, and I see it. I just did a reading yesterday with a client who I've known for a long time that has this North Node, and can be playing out in kind of uncomfortable ways. But let's look at the first 2 weeks. Okay, what I'm seeing is you have the Four of Swords reversed, and you've got the Nine of Wands reversed, and you've got the Eight of Cups upright. Okay, on your timeline. Okay, so this first 2 weeks, how could this be playing out? Okay, the Four of Swords, if you look at this person who is laying down in repose, they are laying down and they are in a vulnerable position. Okay, one of the things we're vulnerable is when we sleep. We're vulnerable. If you're camping outside, I mean that anytime you're sleeping, you are vulnerable because you're completely okay. But this is reversed, and going into the Nine of Wands, what this is that many of you could be going through situations that are very uncomfortable, and you could be scratching your head like, why is this going down the way it's going down? Why am I going through this? And it could be that, you might have been not allowing yourself to be as vulnerable in life, and allowing and not taking chances, and opening up your heart, and showing your heart, or it being vulnerable in a lot of ways, like sharing your feelings. It's all of that kind of a thing. And with this reverse Nine of Wands, this is about learning from experiences. And so when it's reversed again, it's like not allowing yourself maybe to be vulnerable enough, and then not learning from past experiences, because the person that I'm thinking of that has this has had like a pattern going on and on and on, and this person can't see the pattern. And I'm trying to point it out, that the pattern it's there. So the universe is saying, like, can't you see that, like, the more you're holding on to security, the less security you're going to feel as time goes on. Now, the way this could be playing out is, for a lot of you, you could be over it. Like this is literally walking away from emotions. The Eight of Cups, walking away, like, and this is not what you want to do. This is you want to really look at the situations around you and say like, okay, where, what does it mean to be North Node in Cancer? It means really like connecting more to the heart, connecting more to, family and those around me. It's not about money. It's not about success in this lifetime. It's not that you can't have that. It's that it's everything to do with Capricorn and the 10th house has to come second. It's not about how big of the bank account you have, wow, your retirement security and all of this and your status or whatever. It's about the things that are family, love, open-heartedness, tenderness, sharing feelings. Okay, that's what this lifetime's about. And you can have all of the gifts of Capricorn in the 10th house as long as you are allowing yourself to and open yourself to that North Node in Cancer. Okay, I hope this is making sense. If a lot of you are feeling like, that you're like, why you can see these patterns and they keep coming. Again, what are your two advice cards? Okay, you've got the Judgment card, okay, and you've got the Queen card. What Judgment is, what this is, if you look at this card, it shows the archangel here blowing the horn, okay, and then waking up these people from a dead state. So it's not judging people, or what it is Judgment is, it's waking up inside to something, like waking up from one state of not knowing something to another. Okay, so the universe has been, all of these experiences that you've had are like wake up calls. It's like a wake up call. It's like saying it's happening because the more you cling to security, the less secure you're going to feel. And the more you allow yourself to be vulnerable, over time, the less vulnerable you're going to feel and the less vulnerability you're going to experience. Okay? And with the Queen of Cups here reversed, it's like, again, this is embodying opening up the heart. Okay? Opening up the heart. It's really funny because in this life that we have right now, modern life, there are certain energies that are appreciated more than others. There are, everyone appreciates, like, he or she's, they're a go-getter, or they're a warrior, they're this, they're that, success, blah, blah, blah. But when it's all said and done at the end of our road, that stuff's not important. Okay. But so, like, heart and touchy feely things, yeah, we think they're important, but more people are exploring, like, my career, my car, my success, which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that is not where it's at, because I am here to tell you that the power of the emotions, like emotional intelligence, is way more practical than the world would have you believe. And I've given this example before, and I'll give you a quick example, just in case any of you are saying, like, yeah, like touchy-feely, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, let me give you an example. A person that is emotionally intelligent can walk into a room or a meeting, and because they are emotionally connected and have that emotional intuition, they can pick up on the feeling of a room. Okay? That has value in business. That has value in any sort of situation. People that are maybe just intelligent intellectually, okay, and don't have as much emotional intelligence, walk in and they're just like beep beep, like a computer, like they're not picking up the clues of what's going on underneath on the emotional level. So what I'm here to tell you is that it has not only wonderful value, but in generally in life but it has practical value too. It's not appreciated because it's just not in this patriarchal society we've had for the last 4,000 years, okay? But there once was a time on Earth, that it was appreciated, and it's everything to do with, Earth energies, um, things that are the unseen, okay? This was a long thing because I really feel like I feel like a lot of you are really needing to kind of get this and get this vulnerability going, because it's time to open up that part of yourself, okay? So if if you're seeing this reading and if it's not making sense, you're like, I'm fine, I don't have any, if you're doing great in your life, then that's great. But if you have some issues where things keep coming up and you actually seem to be getting less and less secure in your life, remember that the more you try to hold on to security with your North Node, the less it's going to actually work. Now, going on to the second half of the month, you've got the Star reversed, and you've got the Ace of Swords, and you've got the Temperament card reversed. Now, what I'm seeing here in particular is the Star is a positive card, both reversed and upright, but it's like a delayed energy. And what I feel like there is a moment that's going to happen the second half of June that is going to allow you to, it's going to give you an opportunity to almost like kind of lay down your sword, and you're going to want to immediately like circle the wagons and go into the castle, and you're going to have an opportunity to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's going to be a situation that is going to ask you to be patient, and it's going to ask you to be, and I think specifically what this has to do with is, it has to do with two things. It could play out both ways or one way: relationships or business and money. And it's going to allow you to make a different choice. Okay, you're going to have it's like a choice point moment where it's going to finally possibly click to your mind, like, maybe I should allow myself to not go into the mode of, I got to make sure that I'm secure and covered, and I think it's going to be kind of like this aha moment. So your two advice cards are the Magician, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like with this choice point is going to be where a lot of you are going to finally see the pattern. With the Magician is like, oh, okay. It's like all of the experiences that you've had are going to maybe finally start to make sense, and you're going to see this pattern that has developed, and you're going to be able to start to like really see like, okay, you know what, I can make changes here and there, and you can see like you're going to start to see the value in it. And with this Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like it's like a patience with yourself. I want you, because like I feel like there could be this, what's going on with a lot of you is underlying everything is like an impatience. It's kind of like, I'm really over it being like this, and a lot of you could be feeling like kind of impatient with life. And this whole thing like could really turn around in a good way very, very quickly for you. As long as you kind of start to see these patterns, these like past patterns. And the thing that's happening this month really is the choice point. It could be something that is like the trigger point of like making you feel like super vulnerable, and your immediate response could be like going into those old patterns. But I feel like a lot of you are going to start to kind of see that, and you're going to start to see like, okay, I don't need to do that anymore. Now with the temperance card, is it's almost like you're gonna see that you're blending like this cocktail in your life of being able to allow yourself to be open and at the same time feeling secure, like you're going to experience some sort of vulnerability, but when you experience it, what's going to make this change and change this temperament energy in you is it's going to be like you're going to say like, oh, that wasn't so bad, type of a thing. Like, I allowed myself, to be vulnerable. I didn't like immediately go into protection mode. And you're going to find that it's really not as bad as you think. I think that's what's happening. There's going to be this opportunity to do this. But the reason I say it can turn around really quickly is both the star card and the sun card in reverse positions are like an obscured energy that can very quickly change. Like, for example, I give this example like on a sunny day, if you have the sun card, and the clouds cover it, but the sun's still there, and then the clouds pass. The same thing on a starry night. All of a sudden it's cloudy or misty, and then the mist moves away. So this can turn around very, very quickly for you. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Sorry about the length of it. I felt like it was like necessary at this point. But just remember, allow the vulnerability, because hanging on too much to security, making sure your butt's always covered and you got all your ducks in a row, the more you do that, the more the universe is going to say, hey, when you're not going to feel security until you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Okay, so go out there, make it a great month. Choose the strength in the heart and choose the strength and vulnerability, and you're going to find that things are going to really turn around for you very, very quickly. So thanks so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the comments. Would love to hear from you. And if you'd like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below. So thanks again, and we'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.